Hey climate champions, before we jump in, who are the climate champions and why do you care about the community resiliency plan?
In the last couple of years, we've seen extreme climate patterns like heavy winter storms, droughts, rampant wildfires, and flooding. As the youth of our community, our future is impacted by climate inaction. That's why we're working with the city on their goal of creating a bold community resilience plan and fulfilling the community promise, which centers equity and the decision-making process.
The importance of youth voices in policy should not be overlooked, especially when it comes to climate. This plan is a priority for us because we want to have a livable future. Oh, no, not like that. Ah, yes, this is what I'm talking about. I lay awake at night dreading of the consequences of inaction. We bring creativity and urgency that may not be reflected otherwise. We're trying to make it to the year 3000, also known as Y3K.
I think I'm following. Thank you for adding your voices and being dedicated to making the world a more livable place today, tomorrow, and years from now. I have to say, I didn't think you teens paid attention to the council goals or other bureaucratic buzz. I'm enjoying this. Let's dive into your ideas. What do you have?
I think Tigard has an exciting opportunity to transition more of our lifestyle to renewable sources. We're talking stoves, vehicles, leaf blowers, you name it. Renewable energy sources will ensure we can still plug into our phones to get into our Facebook discussions with our family and keep posting Instagram stories and sharing ridiculous TikToks without harmful emissions to make it happen. Shout out to any people in Tigard who have invested in solar panels. Climate champions are all in on promoting the use of green energy.
How about transitioning gas stoves to electric ones? Y'all know I don't cook anyway. It's more of an aesthetic piece. We're also encouraged by the city's effort to make electric micromobility more accessible.
Gotta tell them what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, micromobility refers to e-bikes. You know, the kind that zoom by on the uphill when you're just trying to make it up the old way. All muscle. It also includes e-scooters for all those millennials that want to relive their Razor scooter days. That's not the right photo, but you get the point. Tigard has some great paths, and we want to see the community utilizing those resources to get to destinations instead of using cars.
That's great. Implementing some environmentally friendly choices into people's routines can help us reach our goal of carbon neutrality by 2035. What else do you think we can do to help us achieve our bold emissions reducing action?
We'd like to see the city start to transition its fleets to electric. Our friends at TriMet have been busy introducing greener public transportation. Let's pick up the pace, Tigard.
Is someone putting you up to this? Blink twice if you're being held hostage.
No way. Tigardians should know the transportation sector creates nearly 40% of emissions. Everyone and their cousins should be thinking about transitioning to electric and/or reducing their miles traveled each day. Team Tigard is evaluating how to make this an equitable and accessible plan.
I like the sound of that.
Climate champions have also been talking code, and not the 01010 kind. We're calling on Tigard to make parks, community gardens, and natural spaces a priority in the new development and incorporating it into existing communities. We could all benefit from more trees and native plants that require less water. I don't know about everyone else, but outdoor spaces have kept me going, especially during COVID.
So true. They're also a great background for when I want to pretend to be active for my 9 very loyal Instagram followers.
I've done it! The Sky Roomba is online!
Turn that thing off!
Now, this is cutting-edge technology designed to end the problem right where it starts. A Roomba that can fly? Now, there's a patch of grass in the Roomba, so when the Roomba floats around the sky and detects any CO2, it can put out O2 through sky photosynthesis.
I was on board until the Sky Roomba part, but electric vehicles and native plants are great ways of reducing carbon emissions. What are your plans on reducing waste in Tigard?
Well, I mean, the Sky Roomba was a great idea, but reducing your own personal consumption is a huge part of cutting down on your waste, or buying secondhand if you can. Tigard has a great thrift store called Curiosities in downtown. Another place to successfully dispose of your waste is Agilix, Tigard's own styrofoam recycling plant. Make sure to properly recycle your styrofoam to avoid it going to the landfill.
Another huge part about reducing waste is watching your food waste. Food waste makes up a huge part of Tigard's total waste, and that is totally preventable. Oftentimes, many meat options have high carbon emissions, so it's important to be aware of the local Tigard restaurants that have made an effort to include vegetarian and vegan options on their menu, such as Lucky Cat Ramen, Primo Espresso, Symposium Coffee, 48 North Pizzeria, and Sinful Confections.
Thank you so much for letting us know what options Tigard community members have to reduce waste, and some local places that people should check out. What do you all suggest the community does to get more involved?
One way people can get involved is through Tigard's Resiliency Plan. We want your input to make our climate policy fit better with our community. Every step to reduce your carbon footprint is a step taken towards a more livable future.